Welcome to part 38 of Look to the Olympics. Prophetic message, August the 5th, 2024 by man's calendar. Anyways, much is about to be fulfilled. Much is about to be fulfilled. Let's get back into this.
Surprised when you see that even in Revelation, it's telling you and it's associating Zeus's throne and seat with Satan. And there have been politicians like Obama. I mean, if you remember that Obama wanted to have his stage crafted as Zeus's throne. And he gave a speech on it. Ephesians 6:12. We wrestle not against flesh and against blood.
There are many who believe that Obama is the Antichrist. No, he's just one of the beast system. He is just one of the workers behind the scenes, basically. Just another puppet for the puppet master. He is not the Antichrist.
But against entities, against principalities that rule this world. In the Olympics, what you have there is nothing new under the sun.
The Pergamon altar was one of the most famous and magnificent monuments in antiquity. The entire facade has been recreated in Berlin in order to display over 100 of the original marble reliefs. They were transported more than 1,000 miles from Anatolia in Turkey. They make up a frieze running 400 feet, over twice the length of the facade of St. Paul's. Together with the Elgin marbles, the most important Greek sculpture in the world. Its acquisition by the German government was the most ruthlessly efficient archaeological coup of the 19th century.
It's the same sacrifices, it's the same rituals, it's the same thing. The only difference now in our day and age from the days of when Zeus and these entities were honored and revered by human beings is that it is now worldwide. So we are now able to see that in the Olympics, it's almost...
So these gods have just changed places. They're still honored and revered. Look. Look. Look what's right there on your screen. They're still honored and revered. They set themselves up to be gods. And mankind is still worshiping them.
The Tower of Babel reborn, where all nations come together as one. All nations come together, they unite, share one common bond. In this case, they share a common bond to go to the Olympics and develop many sacrifices there as well, because the sacrifices may not be blood rituals, they may not be anything like that, but all of these athletes are, in this case, they share a common bond
I want to
to
make
go
sure
to the
you see what
Olympics
they're doing.
and develop many sacrifices there as well, because the sacrifices may not be blood rituals, they may not be anything like that.
They bowed down to kiss that stone. They're worshiping stone. Have y'all lost your minds? You don't see this?
but all of these athletes are sacrificing a lot of blood, sweat, and tears in real life. When you look and see it, all of these individuals have to train on a daily basis just to go before the Olympic.
I'm sorry, they still have their blood sacrifices. All the people that have died are their blood sacrifices. Everybody they've killed off in wars, that's their blood sacrifices. Y'all need to open your eyes and realize what's really going on.
Gods and get a gold medal. It is astonishing to even think of the least. Yet we get surprised when games like the Olympics and others, which are clearly an homage to fallen angels and entities, mock Christianity. I also had a couple of thoughts on that as well. Because in reality, the picture of the Last Supper that they're mocking is a drawing by Leonardo da Vinci. It's not a scriptural picture either. So just want to make sure you understand
Exactly
that
what
as well.
I said.
That they're mocking a depiction from Leonardo da Vinci. And yes, it's alluding to mocking the Last Supper. But I just want you to know that that is the last thing that you should be worried about. Because when you really take a look at what's happening all over this world, when you see that nations are still coming together to essentially participate in a carnival circus style of an event.
We're in ancient Olympia, and behind us is the Temple of Hera, where on Tuesday the flame will be lit for the Paris Olympic Games. It's done in a very complicated way. You don't just use a lighter or something. They use a metal mirror which focuses the sun's rays, and it's a very sunny day, so hopefully it will be on Tuesday too. Focuses the sun's rays on a torch. They could do it in a more simple way, but the idea is to show the link between the ancient games, which happened here.
They focus the sun's rays using a mirror. You know, like those reflector panels on the Gwyn Towers. Let's hear that just once more again, shall we?
Because when you really take a look at what's happening all over this world, when you see that nations are still coming together to essentially participate in a carnival circus style of an event.
We're in ancient Olympia, and behind us is the Temple of Hera, where on Tuesday the flame will be lit for the Paris Olympic Games. It's done in a very complicated way. You don't just use a lighter or something. They use metal.
These are rituals to worship fallen angels, just so you know. These are rituals used to worship devils, idols, false gods. And they use mirrors. Starting to understand what the Gwyn Towers are really for, are you?
Mirror, which focuses the sun's rays, and it's a very sunny day, so hopefully it will be on Tuesday too. Focuses the sun's rays on a torch. They could do it in a more simple way, but the idea is to show the link between the ancient games, which happened here. They started here 2,800 years ago.
Look how
and
they're
the
dressed
modern
like
games,
pillars.
which were recreated at the end of the 19th century. This used to be holy ground, where normally I wouldn't have been allowed because I'm not completely Greek, and it was only for Greek male free citizens to come here and watch the games and take part in the games. And they were held in the honor of Zeus, the king of the ancient Greek gods. They were held every 4 years. It was considered the most important religious and sporting event in ancient Greece.
That is honoring the same entities and deities that we were warned of in the pre-flood world. The same entities and diabolical fallen angels that we were warned of in Ephesians 6:12. The last thing you should worry about is Leonardo da Vinci's drawing being made a mockery of. We should really open up our eyes and actually see that we're in a day and age where the entertainment of this world is distracting us more and more and more and more and more. And as if it wasn't bad enough, where you see drag queens on these shows and you see all of these aspects of witchcraft and rituals and so forth, you also see that even in their quote-unquote competitions, here you have a male, Iman Khalif, a male fighting a woman in the Olympic Games and beating on a woman in the Olympic Games. This is no longer about who is the better athlete, who works harder. No, this is becoming very diabolical to the core. And as you watch this clip, think about, where are the feminists? Where are the feminists? Why aren't they standing up for women's rights when it comes to many of these issues?
Feminist. That's not in the Bible. Women had a place, according to the scriptures, and that was not it. We're not told to go and get no boxing ring and box it out. All of this is garbage. Man has become all about serving self and not God. Do you think any of this is for God's pleasure when it's against His will? When you serve idol gods? Honestly? This is all against God.
I tell you, what's happening here before your very eyes is the days of Noah being glorified all over again. And it's the world acting like the world. Will the church act like the church? When you look worldwide, all over in South America, North America, Asia, China, the Nazca lands in Peru, what you see is entities and fallen angels being glorified. I just desire that the same way that we're being outraged at Leonardo da Vinci's depiction of the Last Supper being mocked, that we could open up our eyes and actually see that it goes way deeper and way beyond that. That what is happening right now are literal rituals being played on your television sets that we're indulging on. This is pure witchcraft. There's no way around it. Why would you expect something different to come through your television set from an event aimed at honoring as a sacrifice to fallen angels? Have you forgotten about the Baphomet? The Baphomet alone is the first transgender. Look at the Baphomet. It's a transgender. Satan is a shapeshifter. He comes as an angel of light, so it should be no surprise to us to see, just as in the book of Revelation, they had a throne dedicated to Satan. That just as in all of these world cultures, they've worshipped star gods, beings from other planets. CERN is trying to create portals. Elon Musk is trying to go to Mars. It should be no surprise that the world is going to act like the world. I just desire, my brother, my sister in the Lord, that as the world is acting like the world, that you remember that we still serve the same God that delivered Noah, Moses, Isaac, Jacob. That when Elijah was under that juniper tree saying, "I'm done, I give up."
No, we're not serving the same God. We haven't been for a long time. Not really. We've been serving idols and taking pledges of allegiance to flags and nations and countries rather than to Jesus Himself, who is God. I pledge my allegiance only to Jesus and Jesus alone. Not to a nation, not to a flag, not to a country, but to the one true King, which is Jesus. One, two, prophets are coming for you. 3, 4, you can't close this door. 5, 6, this you can't fix. 7, 8, you're too late. 9, 10, Jesus wins. Your time is up, fallen ones. You are going in to the pit. In Jesus' name. I'll see you in the next part.